Alright, well, good afternoon, ladies and germs. Well, as you can see, I have behind me an EG hatch here. Now, this belongs to a buddy of mine. I met him actually when I went to dyno my Miata back in the day when I turboed it. The dyno had actually scheduled us both at the same day at the same time, and so that's how I met him. And then we got to talk about Hondas and stuff. And since then, I've seen him at quite a few meets. And he reached out to me on Instagram when I posted up that I was having my DA bumper bar sale. And he asked if that applied to EG bars as well. And as many of you guys know, I've said it 1,000 times, if I don't have access to a car, I can't make nothing for it, because stuff like this, obviously the car has to be here. That's just how fabrication works in most cases. But he hit me up and he was like, "Oh, well, I'm local to you. I'm only like 20 minutes away. I can drop you off my car if you want to use it for a few days." So I was like, that would be awesome. I've been skeptical on doing EG, EK, DC bars for a while because of my friend Nick at Mayhem Metalworks. And I'm not gonna lie, his bars are absolutely gonna be nicer than mine because he goes above and beyond. His are all like chromoly, TIG welded, end capped, and everything nice. But after much discussion with not only other business owners, small business owners, and the community in general, the consensus is I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta eat too, and that includes me making stuff that unfortunately others already are. So I'm glad to be making them because a lot of you guys have been asking for these things for months, and I know Nick's going through personal stuff right now. His stuff is very far and few right now. I saw he just started posting again. But I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here, and I'm not trying to go back to the 9-to-5 life anytime soon. So if that means I got to take a hit, roll with the punches, and do something like this, then I'm going to do that. So in this video, we're primarily going to be making some of these EG bumper bars, at least prototyping. And I've already got a handful of you guys that saw my Instagram story. And if you don't follow me on there, you should, because that's where you see a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, is my Instagram stories and such. And a few of you guys have already got yourself a spot for the pre-orders for when these things are ready. So without further ado, let me just kind of show you the car really quick. It's a little neat. So this car belongs to a buddy of mine, Aaron, like I had mentioned before, and this is in fact K-swapped, as are most of the cars that come around here nowadays. K is just the way, you know, and it's just it's running ethanol. It's on straight ethanol right now, not flex fuel. He does intend to do flex fuel, so I think he's probably got some like RDX injectors. It looks like, I can't really tell. Obviously Hasport engine mounts, you know, half-size radiator. He's got Mishimoto hoses. You know, I'm gonna try and talk him into letting me make him an intake for him. And looks like he's got K-tuned race shifter cables. What is that? Deechworks fuel system or something? It's hard to tell, but really nice fuel lines and all that jazz. And then he's got the PCI side skirts. I don't know if these are real or fake BBSs, but they look nice. Not my style, but they look nice. And then the interior, pretty simple, nice NRG bucket seat. I believe that is the K-tuned race shifter, a Momo steering wheel. I think it's like a 320 mil, so it's a little on the small side. And then something else this guy needs to do is get a muffler made up. You can see that thing has just exploded, so hopefully we can, maybe in exchange for letting me use this car, I can weld him on a fresh muffler if he's able to source one out. But yeah, just a nice, simple, neat little car, and he's just being a bro and just let me use it to make some bumper bars. This is actually going to be pretty darn easy because unlike the DA and the EF, the bumper bar is more just there for the impact, and it's not there for, say, bumper structure in terms of holding it up and whatnot. So I can pretty much just kind of cheat my way through this. I'm going to unbolt the factory unit and just get my measurements off of that, and then all I have to do is make a tube to match that shape, and then make some pieces to obviously attach it, make some plates to bolt it to the body, and that's going to be it. So I don't have to do anything special, just in case. I don't want to copy the Mayhem design at all. Obviously, he has some end plates here that I think are headlight supports or something. I don't understand where those go necessarily, because at least on this car, there's nothing supporting the headlights. He's got his bolt here, and he's got the two up there, and then I think there's one back there that he has zip tied. And it's been a minute since I've owned an EG myself, so I don't really recall. But in that case, just to keep them different, I'm not going to make that same piece he has there. I'll keep it simple, and I'll keep it a little bit cheaper than my DA bars because it's just going to be two small support legs and then this bar that comes out and across. So my normal DA ones I think are $275 shipped. These ones I can probably make $240-ish, $250-ish, somewhere around there, because there's a little bit less that actually has to be done. Well, at least no top plate or anything, but nonetheless, you guys get the idea. It's going to be a little bit more simple, and it'll make mine different than the other one that's on the market, and we can work with that. But I'm going to pull this thing off, just a few 12 mil bolts, just like normal, and yeah, we'll get to measuring. So this is going to be pretty easy. Now, the way I just do this is because I use a software called BendTech. Extremely helpful for this case. I don't have to, it takes out all the guesswork and I guess some of the skill of being able to do this, but to me it kind of helps teach me. But basically I get my measurements, it tells me my tube length, my bend points and all that. There's math that goes into it and it just solves it for you. So for me, I'm going to measure from outside edge here to outside edge here. And then that is going to be obviously the tube length, and then I'm going to measure from back plate here to the front of the plate here, and that's going to give me that. And then I'm just going to measure this distance here between the bends, and that's going to basically give me all the measurements that I need. So let's start with this. Going across here is 49.5. So this is not a permanent marker. This is a tracing marker type thing for what I think that's the term. So 49.5, and then front to back would be 5.5. So 5.5. Look at that mosquito, puto. And then this area here is going to be 9 3/4 ideally to the middle of the bend, so 9.75. So now with those simple measurements, I'm going to go throw that on the computer, and that will give me my dimensions that I need. And then again from there, that will give me the bends, and then all I have to do is make some plates. Those plates look to be pretty darn simple. Yeah, and then we'll just make the supports. All right, so let's get this main tube set up and cut up and bent. Alright, so it shows that we need a 50 1/8 inch cut. So let's go ahead, get that measured out. Right. So our bend points are going to be 9 5/16. So say 1, and then bend number 2 is 37 15/16. Alright, so I've shown you guys how to set this thing up before. It's pretty simple. So there. So we're going to 24. Right on the money. So I have mentioned this before. Gotta have it on the same angle or the same plane. So we're still good there. Mine is about -2 degrees downward slope because of the way my bender sits. So we'll have it. God, I hate this freaking tool. never ever ever center, so it's kind of guesswork. Right about there. Snug that down. Load our tool. Alright, so we know what's about. Alright. So this thing should be the same general shape. I know it'll be slightly different because this is round tube and not square stock, but you guys get the idea. So basically something just like that, slightly off. Okay, so that looks, this one can come over just a hair. So yeah, there we go. So something basically just like that. I think that should be good. And then all I would have to do then is just make the legs that go and attach to the plates, which the plates will be next. I got some flat stock. I'll have to figure that part out. There's only 2 holes here, which is kind of funky. So I don't really know what to do about this lip here, because the lip is where the bumper support kind of hangs on. So I don't know. So you guys are kind of getting the idea of what I'm going at now. I'm going to try and I suppose kind of trace the backside of the stock thing here and cut some mounting plates out. That'll be the next step. And as for that hole, it'll be a little difficult doing that hole by hand, so I'll probably have to drill a big circle and then ream it out with my carbide burr bit. And then when I go to get the piece actually laser cut or water jet cut or whatever, then I can make it a square. But in the meantime, I think this will work. We'll do the 2 holes there, and then all I got to do is find a way to mount the bar where I kind of need it. May have to get my girlfriend to give me a hand to hold it, and then I can tack some rods to it, and then I can take it into the shed and we can actually cut some piece that'll fit and notch it to it and make it nice. And then from there, then obviously come out, test fit it, make sure the bumper still fits all normal and stuff. And then after that, I would build a fixture off of it. So I figured the best way to do this solo is I got some of my bigger jack stands here, and I'm gonna basically try and hold it, rotate it. I got this little exhaust hanger pieces, and I'm gonna tack this, try and get them tacked up on the outside edges somewhere of the plates and then to the pole. That way I can leave room, and then I can build the actual supports correctly, and then I can then cut off these things instead of having to do it one at a time. See if I can just make it easier on myself. So I'll sit you guys down, we'll tack this thing up. I disconnected the negative battery terminal, and I mention that every time because you never know who's watching, if they're maybe doing some welding on their car and something they don't know. You always want to disconnect your negative battery terminal if you're welding to the body of the car or you're grounding on the body of the car. If you're doing an exhaust, it's whatever, but if you're doing something like this where you have to weld and ground to the chassis, disconnect your battery cable. I haven't seen it personally, but I know it can happen. You can back ground it or something like that, back arc it, whatever it's called, and blow something in the ECU, a fuse, a capacitor, a diode, a transistor, a resistor, whatever. Just better safe than sorry. Looking at it, looking pretty good. You can see like that's basically all I was doing, was using a little rod like that. It is basically like 99% level. I think it's just the eensy tiny bit that way because this ground is slightly unlevel, but the level shows it's almost perfectly dead center. Let me focus in on that. Focus! Yeah, you get the idea. It's basically there. I'm gonna go off of this one, and then I'm going to cut the piece that I need to go from the plate to there, and then it should be basically almost dead even over here. So this side sticks out just a little bit more from the headlight, like that. This side's almost flush with it, kind of, and then this one's just a hair more off. So I'm gonna build that piece first to go from there, notch it for that one, and then I'm gonna copy that one and go over here, and then I'm gonna end up cutting this and scooting it in to then touch the support, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Make it for the one side, fake the funk till the other side fits that same thing. After spending some time in the shed, I got some supports notched out and made. Obviously I can get the measurements, but I got this all fixed up. The gap is now much more even along it. I'd say it's pretty much perfect. Those two supports are the same. This side did have to get sucked in a good like half an inch or so, but it's all tacked up now. It looks pretty darn level across. The level shows that it's level, so I do intend to, when I get these plates cut, get them hollowed out so that way, just in case, people can kind of lean it one way or the other if they need to. I mean, obviously everybody's car is going to be slightly different. This car looks pretty clean, but for all I know, it could be a little tweaked. It could have been an fender bender. You never know. So I'm going to try and fit the bumper. Well, that works. Only thing left for me to do is go ahead and fixture this thing up, which I can't really do at the moment because I don't have material to fixture it. I use like thick square stock, like the 4x1 inch type stuff. I don't have any on hand, so I'm gonna have to go get some this weekend. But I got some jobs this weekend. Gotta run to the junkyard for a guy, gotta do some door shavings. So we'll pick this video up on to the next thing. EG bumper bar is done though, so if you EG guys are interested, give me a couple of weeks and these things will be fixtured up and they will be cut up, my plates will be cut, and then I can just start pumping these things out. Alright, well, to kind of further on this video with the EG bumper bar stuff, I did get back. If you didn't see, I don't know which video is going up first, either before this video or after this video, I go up to Colorado and I do some help with, or give some help to Robert at Hush Performance. He hit me up for some work to just come up, help him for a couple days. And yeah, so after that I got back, and yesterday I went and took the EG bars to go get my plates and everything drawn up and cut. So as for you EG guys, be looking out for those, but also ran into some bad luck. And so if you guys remember, obviously me getting this lip put on the S2000 here, when I got it done right afterwards, like 2 days later, the paint started cracking a bit around the headlights and like splitting. So I went to go to the body shop yesterday to have them look at it, see if they're warranting it. But literally like 2 minutes after I left the body shop, I was merging onto the freeway and basically got into like a little fender bender in the S2000. I'm fine, the other lady is fine, the cars are mostly fine, mine took more damage. But yeah, I'm not gonna draw this out and make it all like sob stories. So I just wanted to show you guys because it's just stressing me out. I've never been in a collision before of any sort, let alone one that I'm gonna be at fault for. And I'll explain to you after I show you really quick what happened. So like I said, it's nothing crazy. I do have this really good sized dent, and this whole area from here to here is all pushed in. The paint's a little chipped and cracked, and you can see like it's pretty good dent. The wheel did take some damage. It's got some good curb rash, or bumper rash technically, chipping paint or powder coat, I mean. The bumper tab, I don't know if it's broken. I was actually about to take it off to try and adjust the headlight because the headlight looks like it got knocked back because it's poking out here. Yeah, it's poking out right there. It's tucked back in there, and obviously this gap was not here before. So nothing horrible, nothing that I can't fix. It just sucks that this is all going to be out of pocket for this at least. So basically what had happened is, like I said, I was merging onto the freeway and I was following a white car, like a white Nissan Altima. And essentially I was a good distance from him or whatever. We were merging onto the freeway, literally just like quarter mile onto the freeway. He merges over, I get over with him. He goes to merge over again because there's this this big work truck, like an old thing, big old toolboxes on the back and stuff. And as soon as we both go to merge over again, this truck darts out of nowhere. No turn signal, no brake lights. So I think because what had happened is the traffic in front of him was basically at a standstill. He must have not been paying attention on his phone or something. So he merged very, very last second, almost takes out this Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima reacts quickly enough that he's able to swerve over again one more lane, but then he almost gets taken out by like a big old Ford van. So he's literally just that close away from getting smushed on both sides, almost sideways, like T-boned on both sides by these two big old vehicles. And because the work truck was now in my lane and I was coming up on him, I had to swerve back in my lane, and that's when I realized that he was dodging traffic that was slow or barely moving. So I did what I could. I locked the brakes. Well, I didn't mean to lock the brakes, but I hammered the brakes, clutched in, and then I saw that I was getting really close to this lady. It just split-second reaction time was all I had, and I just clocked the wheel and narrowly escaped, but I did end up tapping the bumper. And thankfully her damage is just, it was a Mercedes C250. and it's like on the inside of the bumper there's like a bar or something that must be kind of sharp, because when I tapped it, it was just enough pressure to just barely puncture it. So it's got maybe a nickel-sized hole in it that's gonna have to probably get repaired or replaced. And I was just, yeah, I'm stressed now. I have insurance, for those of you that are gonna be commenting like, oh, insurance. It's like, yes, I do have insurance, but it sucks because my deductible for my stuff is $600, and unfortunately I don't believe that that's gonna be any more than $600 deductible. So either way, whether I pay for it completely out of pocket or insurance helps for my stuff, I'm still gonna be out $600, which for me right now is a lot of money in light of just all the little stupid things that life keeps throwing at me. And as many of you guys may know, trying to grow a business is not cheap in the slightest, and I've been sacrificing and risking a lot and not taking a lot, especially when it comes to car stuff, not doing a lot to be able to afford to keep doing my business stuff. So I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in there to, I guess, end this video out, because it's just stressing me out really bad. And I know whatever, insurance to take care of it, but I'm just bummed because this car obviously means a lot to me. But hopefully you guys found this video enjoyable. If you want to help me, just please leave a like on the video, leave a comment, share it with your friends. If you want to help me continue to further fund these things, please check out the Big Cartel. I do have merch, I have stickers, I have DA bumper bars, and obviously, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we'll say, hopefully, lucky, fingers crossed, praying, EG bumper bars will be out for the front. Anyways guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Anyways guys, do what you love, forget about the rest, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.